Well, no, they're going to have to be crushed, is what's going to happen. There will have to be a vote, and they will lose it. And you had at the top of the hour a Democratic senator calling it a stolen seat and that they should consider Merrick Garland. Well, what does that mean? Well, Merrick Garland would be voted down. So all it means is
But he didn't even get. But he didn't even get to have a hearing at all. Nobody even got to vote on him, to vote him down.
Well, he shouldn't have. Why should he have? Look, the country is profoundly divided. It was a presidential election. The president, you have to resolve that conflict to see who the American people wanted to be their president, and that president would make a nomination, and he has. It's Neil Gorsuch. But the Democrats are just saboteurs. There's no positive outcome. So suppose the Senate considers Merrick Garland. So another 2 or 3 months will go by where there'll be a 4-4 stalemate on the Supreme Court, and then Merrick Garland will be voted down, and then they will filibuster Gorsuch again. So it's like what we're talking about 6 months. They're just trying to obstruct the Trump administration. They have no positive agenda.
Mitch McConnell says Gorsuch, no matter what, will be confirmed. So a lot of pundits are warning for Democrats not to waste their filibuster capabilities on the Supreme Court pick and wait for a time where the balance of the Supreme Court really goes in favor of conservatives. Even the New York Times, and we mentioned this yesterday, had said, this probably wasn't worth the fight because he was basically just filling in for Scalia, who passed away. So why would Democrats still make this move?
Because the banner that they're fighting under is resistance. Resistance is what partisans do to Nazi occupations. It's not the proper role of an opposition party in a democracy. But they're locked into this because their base is so far to the left. They have a communist base, and I use that term advisedly as somebody who grew up in the communist movement. Bernie Sanders is the Democratic Party these days. Bernie Sanders spent his whole life supporting Soviet communists. He had his honeymoon in Moscow. You have to understand the mentality of these people, which I do describe at length in Big Agenda.